Hello, my wonderful friends out there. I welcome you once again to Marriage Without Tears channel. This edition, we are looking at how to prevent love from hurting you. Very important topic. We started it just last week, and I told us within the confines of this edition, especially the edition of this week, we are going to be looking at how to prevent love from hurting you. Love is a very special experience. If you have never been in love, you are missing something. It's a wonderful experience. It has all manner of dynamics at play. And of course, the Bible even told us that God is love. So I can also define love as God working in the life of a man or a woman. That is what love is all about. And it takes a whole lot of doing to be objective in love. Most of the time, we are very subjective. We are never objective. We allow so many things to play themselves out when we should be proactive about certain decisions and choices we make in love. And as we look at this topic today, you are going to gain a whole lot, because a whole lot of people are hurting because of love. But if you take some of the things I'm going to tell us this day, you are going to be blessed by any love relationship you are involved in. Whether it is love in marriage or whether you are just an engaged couple, you are going to gain a whole lot in this very particular edition. Once again, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so immediately. There is a red button by my side here. Just click on it, get subscribed. Recommend our channel to your loved ones, and also be a promoter of this channel in all your social media platforms. We will appreciate you for that. I want us to look at it from this perspective. First of all, if you actually want love to be a blessing and not be a source of hurt to you, you must learn how to build meaningful, healthy relationships. You must realize that every relationship you have with an opposite gender does not necessarily need to lead to passion and to, being lovers. No, you must build a relationship that is built out of mutual respect and trust. As an individual, I have so many women that are around my life, and I have met at several points in time. But in all these things, we have mutual respect for one another. It's a relationship that is built out of integrity of heart, and we have been able to manage it. I can tell you that it will make that relationship will become more meaningful in the end. It's more fulfilling, more edifying. So learn how to build meaningful, healthy relationships that are sometimes devoid of passion. If passion finally comes, fine. But if it doesn't come to the level of passion, at least be well fulfilled to the fact that, on the fact that you are wonderful friends, and you can always reach out and, be in one another's life one way or the other. So it's very important. Learn how to build healthy relationships that is essentially devoid of passion and all manner of feelings. Don't allow it to encroach on every relationship that you have with a member of the opposite sex. It's very important that you do that. The second thing you may also need to work on is in your capacity to effectively, communicate your visions, your values, your goals with whoever you get associated with in friendship, so that as you are looking at him or her, and as you are also watching one another in your relationship, you'll be able to know whether you are actually compatible, whether you share the same value perceptions, whether you have commonality in goals and visions. Because whereby there are divergent opinions and divergent views, you will know when to retrace your steps. So learn how to communicate your visions, your values, your goals in life. Sometimes when we hear the goals of one another, we get to know whether we are working in tandem, or whether we are working at cross purposes, or whether we are actually very different in ways that we do not actually understand. Be proactive in these things. Learn how to communicate your values. Let your values be known by your partner. Let your goals, let your visions. Many times when we get involved in relationships, we don't communicate these things. And at the end of the day, we get hit like a thunderbolt when we get to understand that the views or the goals or the visions of our partners are totally, in conflict with our own. But as at that time, it has become too late, and we end up squabbling over the same issue for several years in the relationship. But I tell you that if you can effectively communicate your goals, your visions to one another, in the process of time, you'll be able to know whether these are things you can work in a symbiotic relationship and come out with better results in future, or whether it is best to remain at the level of friendship. It is very important that you do that. Realistic expectations in every love affair you enter, because most often we look at one another as being perfect, and there is no perfection in any human being. God is the only one that is perfect. Every man upon the face of the earth can only achieve what I call, relative perfection. So at that point in time, there are always deficiencies in every person. Deficiencies in character, deficiencies in opinions and views. So don't always look at your partner or your potential spouse or your spouse as being a perfect individual. Because if you see that from that perspective, then that person has a little flaw or a kind of failure in his value system, you become engrossed in bitterness, you become engrossed in sorrow, you become totally disappointed. So always know that in every man, in every human being, there is a good side and there is a bad side. And if the good side is hard to the extent that it diminishes the bad side, then you have a wonderful relationship. But I can tell that any man is capable of being manipulative. Any man is capable of being, jealous. Any man is capable of being destructive in one way or even controlling. It depends on which virtues or vices you are able to hype in that individual. So as you are working together as one, don't look at one another as perfect individuals. Always look at your spouse as work in progress. He or her is simply work in progress. That is the way you ought to look at an individual, so that you don't get disappointed anytime you discover a major flaw. When you discover a flaw in a relationship, guide your loins and do whatever is necessary to do what? To take away that flaw or to diminish the impact of that flaw in your relationship. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so immediately. There's this red button by my side. Click on it and become part of this awesome family, Marriage Without Tears family. This is the place where we discuss issues that makes a difference in our marriage and love relationships. Just click on this button and become part of this channel. The fourth thing you need to do when you are in a relationship and you don't want to experience, constant hurts, or you don't want to find yourself in a place where you become so totally disappointed and resentful and begin to diminish in value emotionally. The fourth thing you need to do actually is to always recognize red flags whenever they happen in your relationship. Anytime you see a flaw or you see a part of an individual that you don't like, please don't take it for granted. Don't sweep it under the carpet. It is necessary for you to know that this particular area of that person's life, you don't want it, you don't like it, and you will confront that individual to ensure that that area, that vice is totally removed, or at least put to a barest minimum. Don't toy with red flags at all. Don't toy with red flags. If you have discovered that somehow, maybe in the heat of an argument, your partner will just hit you and then turn around to begin to ask for your forgiveness. If he has done it the first time, the second time, please don't just rest on it. It's either you seek for a counselor who will look at that man or that woman and see whatever is amiss in him psychologically and emotionally and be able to provide solutions, or you continue talking with one another. And if you discover that it is constant, then you need to also do what? Drift apart. Very, very important. Because many people, when they don't recognize red flags and they continue to allow it to happen over and over again, you can only end in resentment. You can only end in sorrow. You can only end in hurts. And what I'm telling you is, confront every red flag the moment you see it. And if you discover that the same red flag is occurring over and over again, it may be time to do what? To cut off from that relationship. What you don't like, you don't like. And if you continue to tolerate what you don't like, you will diminish your value as an individual. You will also end up living a very pretentious life. That at the end of the day will come when all the things you have been hiding on the inside will come out, and it will be to the detriment of your union. So If you discover something that you don't like, attack it, deal with it, set it up, deal with it in prayers, spiritually, in prayers, in communication with one another, in using counselors that will, dissect the problem and be able to provide a solution, and of course, in yielding to one another, to be one another's, comforter in one way or the other, so that these issues are set aside. Very important. I can ask you to go and look at an earlier video I did on how to resolve conflicts in marriage. You will learn a whole lot from that video. And the fifth and final one I want to tell you tonight is to know how to set the balance between love and self-love. Love is an emotion. Love is also a feeling. Love is also, the joy you have in ministering to one another, receiving one another in forgiveness, in joy, in commitment. A whole lot of things is embodied in love. But there's something we call self-love. That's the capacity to do what? To find joy in yourself. Don't let your joy be found in your partner. A whole lot of people have allowed their joy to be from their partner. They have allowed their partner to be the source of their joy. No. Your partner should not be the source of your joy. Your husband, your wife should not be the source of your joy. Your joy should come from the inside of you. And it can only come from the inside of you when you have a deep relationship with your Creator. When you can sit back and talk with your Creator and find joy in Him and whom He has called you and made you to be. When you receive that instruction on the inside, then you begin to love yourself the more. So that the day your partner will disengage from loving you the way you thought he or she should love you, you will find love in yourself. You will not be disappointed. You will not end up in resentment. You will not end up in anger. Let your joy be from your inside. Your joy should not be in any human being. It should not be from your pastor. It should not be from your husband or from your wife. It should not be from your children. Because at the end of the day, all these people I've mentioned can always depart from your life or change at certain periods in time. Your husband or your wife can change in the course of time and become unloving. Your children whom you love so much and trust so much can disappoint you. Some of them can depart from you, have their own families and forget you. Your pastor can die, or you may even change pastors. So your love should not come from your partner. It should not come from people around you. The only place your love should come from are from people that can never depart from you. And those people are yourself and your God. If you have that as the back of your mind, then when certain things happen in your relationship, you will not be overawed. You will not be eaten up by anger and resentment. You will still find joy. And that joy will lead you into finding accommodation in the hearts of other people. So these are the 5 things you need to do and to put in practice. We are not giving this video simply because I want you to learn things. No, whatever you learn from this video, please put it in practice, and you will discover that no kind of relationship will bring hurt into your life. Very, very important indeed. As you begin to meditate on some of the things I have said, please, if you have any view or any comment on some of the points I have raised, please, I want to have your writing. I want you to drop it in the comment section below. It will be my joy to respond to every of your comments. And of course, before you check out, look at this red button, get subscribed, be a part of this channel, introduce this channel to your loved ones, and you have made my day. I appreciate you. God bless you and have an awesome season.